chapter 21, verse 22, it's actually verse 33, that the sun rotates. What is quoting in the verse of the Quran of Surah Anbiya, chapter 21, verse 33, which says, Huwa allazi khalaqal layla wan nahara. It is Allah who has created night and the day. Washamsa wal qamar, sun and the moon. Kullun fi falaki yasbahun, each one traveling in an orbit with its own motion. And this mistake was even taken out by Taslima Nasreen. You know Taslima Nasreen? Heard of her? From Bangladesh. She said that if a book believes that the sun rotates around the earth, then how can we advance? So the Quran has to be changed. Nauz billah. The problem is that a view should be changed and she should read the Quran correctly. The Quran says, Huwa allazi khalaqal layla wan nahara. It is Allah who has created the night and the day. Washamsa wal qamar, the sun and the moon. Kullun fi falaki yasbahun, each one traveling in orbit with its own motion. Nowhere does the Quran say that the sun rotates or revolves around the earth. Nowhere. And Taslima Nasreen, where did she put the word earth inside? I don't know. Does she know Arabic? Can she read English? English translation doesn't say that. She assumed that when the Quran says the sun revolves, it revolves around the earth. That's assumption. So her assumption is wrong. Alhamdulillah, Quran.
Hello everyone, peace of Christ to all. Now we heard Mr. Zakir Naik desperately trying to defend his religion. And you know, I really appreciate Muslims when they defend their Quran, because by doing that they help us a lot to expose this cult. By doing that, they do two things to us. First, they encourage us to give answers and study and search, and this is the case for you. For me, already I did my homework. Second, it shows you that you cannot trust a Muslim. It doesn't matter how long his beard is. It doesn't matter how long his name, Zakir Naik, which is a very, by the way, this is telling me how Muslims are. The word Naik is the F word. And those Bangladesh, Pakistani Muslims, Indian Muslims, they just use words from Arabic. They have no idea what they mean. And the end is someone, his last name is the F word. If you remember, there's an ambassador. He was sent to Saudi Arabia, and the king of Saudi Arabia refused him to be ambassador for Pakistan. Why? Because his name is the biggest penis in Arabic. So imagine they use words from Arabic, they don't know what it's mean. And this is exactly what's happening with people like Zakir Naik. I believe Zakir Naik is nothing but aftermarket scholar. And the funny, in the video we heard, he was making fun of a woman from Bangladesh, which is a Muslimah, but obviously she left Islam, that she don't speak Arabic. My question to him, do you? Are you serious? Do you speak Arabic? I want to hear you speaking Arabic. Not reciting Quran, because Muslims, they memorize Quran using the Urdu language, which is resembling the letters and the sound, but they don't speak Arabic. However, I want to see how he speaks Arabic. The important in his video, he said that he agreed that if the sun rotate around the earth, that will be a big mistake, and therefore the Quran will not be a book of God. That's wonderful. So let us prove that, and I challenge any Muslim to say what I'm saying is not true. You know, we have endless chapters in the Quran proving our point. So I'm going to try to make it fast as much as I can. If we go to chapter 18, verse number 86, this one speak about a man. His name is Zulqarnain. In some interpretation, they say he is Alexander the Great, the one who built Alexandria specifically. If you read this chapter, you will see that this person, Alexander the Great, he was going in a journey, and then he reached the place where the sitting place of the sun. Now, some Muslims, they try to fool you and they say, well, he thought that this is the sitting place of the sun. He thought. It doesn't say that. The one who is reporting the story is Allah. And Allah is not saying until he thought he reached the point where the sun set. Don't fabricate lies. The Quran says clearly that he was going all the way until he reached, you see, he changed direction, as you see here, and he followed the road. So he's going in a direction. Which direction is? The verse after is telling us what is the direction, which is till. So he reached a place. When he reached the sitting place of the sun. Now some other Muslim translation, they try to play games with it, because this is very embarrassing. There is no sitting place for the sun, and obviously this is a sitting place for the sun physically. And this is the sitting place of the sun is exists in the earth. It is not in someone else. It is in the earth. And he found it sitting in a murky water. Actually, it's a hot water, not murky or muddy. It's more accurate to say hot water. And he found next to it people. So look, now this is confirmed that this is a location where the sun set. And the one reporting the story is who? Is Allah himself. So Muslim cannot say, this guy, he is saying, I did that and I thought this. No. Allah is reporting the story saying he went there and he found the sitting place of the sun until he reached the place. And next to the sitting place of the sun, he found people next to it. And those people, they said to him, etc. Now, you can read the story. The story is very funny, and obviously it's coming from a legend, have nothing to do even with the Arab. In my coming book, we will talk about those things, which is going to explain where Quran is coming from. Mostly, I will call it the roots of the Quran or something like this. I did not decide for the name yet. Now here, if the sun is not moving from place A to place B, how the sun went to the sitting place? And the earth is in the, you see, the one is moving here is the sun. Is the sun moving and it is resting in a place. Now, then we will see here in different few verses after verse number 90, he changed the direction, opposite direction. So he followed the road again. You see, this is the first time he followed the road here. You see it? This is the first time he followed the road. This is the second time he followed the road. So it's a road. This is not a metaphorical, or this is something physical happening. There's people next to it. They spoke to him. They asked him to do something for them, etc. Then he changed direction till when he reached the rising place of the sun. So this guy, he went to do direction, or to 2 point where the sun set. Oh, sorry, here where the sun set and where the sun rays from. It's a place. You see the where it says a rising place. It's a place. It's not like metaphorical, he arrived until there is sun. No. He reached a place where the sun rays, and he reached a place where the sun set. So the sun is the one is moving, and the sun is going and disappearing by sitting in a murky water. And I challenge the Muslim to tell me, what does that mean, murky, the hot water or murky water? They will say to you, well, he reached the ocean and he saw the sun going in the ocean, so he thought it's in the ocean. Okay, I'm going to shave my 20-foot beard if you can show me the word he thought. It says he found it. There's a huge difference between found it and he thought. When Allah he say he found it, he is confirming a fact. And the same here. Till when he reached the rising place of the sun, he found it. He found it what? Rising on people whom had appointed no shelter there, upon them. So simply, this is a legend. If you have my book, The Deception of Allah, I spoke about that too, and Quran and Science in depth. You can read my books to reach your knowledge about those legends Muhammad is stealing from other nations. And there is a guy, a historian, who is he made a false story. It's like a novel, let us say, about Alexander. All right, and he is the one who come with those lies, and everybody knows it's a lie. This is not like a secret. Even the Greek one, they don't believe it. So this guy, he made a novel about the glorious Alexander and how he did, and it's like a science fiction story, So, and even the Greek ones, even those who used to have the book at that time, they know that this is nothing but a story. It's a fiction. But Muhammad, he took the fiction and he make it as a part of his religion because he is an ignorant idiot. So here you see that the sun is rising and the sun is sitting, and it is in a place. And Allah is confirming that he found it, not he thought. He found it sitting in. So he did not, as the Muslim they will say to you, try their best to cover this stupid thing in the Quran. So he found it, not he thought. He found it, not he saw. He found it. It's a fact. If I say to you, I went to my drawer and I found my gun there, it's mean I found a gun. I did not say I thought it's a gun. It turned to be shish kebab. When I say I found it, I'm giving you a fact. I found. When a scientist, he found something, he's stating a find, a discovery. Now, in order to understand if this is true or not, we will not go by one verse. There's many verses, but I cannot give them all, because that will make the video really go long. So what we will do, we'll take a few of those verses, which is going to be more than enough to prove Islam to be shish kebab religion. Actually, shish kebab is tasty. So if we go in different verses, those are the verses we talk about already, 1890 and 1868 for the reference. All right, so we eliminate those one and we go here in chapter 13 verse number 2 as an example. You will see it says that Allah who raised or rose the sky without any column that you see. If you remember in my book Quran and Science, the Muslim, they have a scientific miracle. They say how Allah knows that the sky is not held in any column. The fact the Quran confirmed there's columns. It says columns that you do not see. There is columns, and those columns you do not see. This is why when you see like Harun Yahya, what his name, the Turkish guy, when he make his false fiction miracle, he cut this part, the word tarunaha. So he quote from here, Allahu alladhi rafa'a as-samawati bighayri amdin tarunaha. So he took it off, so you don't see it. What does that mean? He rose the sky in a columns which you do not see. All right. Look, this is the Muslim translation now, not my translation. Allah is who raised up the heaven without visible support. The word visible here presents supposedly you see, not really visible, without a visible support that you see. So the translation here not accurate. So there is a support and there is a visible support, but it's not visible for you. However, this is not our topic now. Then you will see here that it says, and compelled the sun and the moon to be in the service of service, each runneth into appointed term. It is run. You know what run mean? Each one of them is running. Now we heard Zakir Naik saying there is nowhere in the Quran it says the sun run from point A to point B. But in the verses before, which we showed you, where Alexander the Great, he went there and he found the sitting place of the sun and he found the rising place of the sun, that is point A and point B, and this is in the Quran. Here the Quran confirmed that the sun and the moon, they run. And why he is talking about that? If you read more verses, let me go to the Arabic part. In the verse after number 3, it says, وَهُوَ الَّذِي مَدَّ الْأَرْضِ. It is him who made the earth flat, and he made in the top of it rawasi, which is the mountain. All right. Then he speak about the day and the night. So simply those are connected. The day and this is the whole thing is about what? How Allah he made the day and the night happen. The sun and the moon both are running, and they are circulating as a, let us say, as a cycle of time, and they are coming and making day and making night, but it's not the earth is moving. Now, in order to make it more clear, because until now this is not really enough, there is tons of verses about this issue. Let us go here. In chapter 39, verse number 5, it says that Allah created the sky and the earth by the truth, and He cycled the night and the day, and the day and the night. Let us go to the English translation, which is made by Muslims. Okay. He has created the heaven. Let me make it bigger. That's better. He has created the heaven and the earth with the truth, and He makes night to succeed day, and He makes day to succeed night, and He concentrates the sun and the moon to give service. So what's happening here? There is day and there is night, and they are going in a certain cycle. All right, like the day come and then the night go, and then the night come and the day, like the day come, the day night go, etc. So here the verse is explained to us that the night and the day, they are happening because the sun and the moon, they are changing service, each one of them running on an appointed term. So this verse is explaining what? Explaining just day and time, day and night. How the day and the night happened? Because the sun and the moon, they are running. If the Quran wanna give us a good explanation, should say, well, the earth is rotating and the sun and the moon is not really doing anything. Like, the moon have nothing to do with the night anyway. The moon is there. In the daytime we cannot see him. That's all. You cannot see the moon. But doesn't mean the moon is not there. So according to the Quran here, that the moon and the sun are going in a certain service, and that service providing us the day and the night. And remember, I'm not the one who's saying that. So like if a Muslim want to say to me, this is not about the day and the night, read with me. It's clear. He makes night to succeed the day, and He makes the day to succeed the night. The fact this is not true, because the day and the night, they are not even physical thing to exist. What day and what night? According to Islam, it's something physical. They are taking over each other. Simply the absence of the sun will make night, and that's all. There is no day is coming and there is no night is going. This is a fiction we see, because simply we are in a certain point in the earth, and we are limited. Otherwise, if we go above the earth, if you go straight, let us say I want to make a column. Let us say this is the earth. All right, let us say the earth here. We are here, and we are in this spot. Let us make it. Here we go. So let us say I am in this point, and then I see the day and I see the night coming in a normal way. But if I go up in the space, and I stay in this point here, far away from the earth, I always have night. Always. Because simply what's happening is very simple and have nothing to do with all of this. When I am out of the earth is not facing the sun and turning its face, other face to the sun. I think all of you know what I'm talking about. You know, when if the sun is here, if the sun is here, let's say here, if the sun is here and the earth is here, this part will be facing the sun and we will be shiny, and this part will be dark. As simple as that. This is the whole story. So if I am out of the shade, or let us say out of the other face of the earth, if I am here, I will never face the problem, for always I can see the sun, and I will have always 24 hours sun. This is why those who live in the south and the north pole, they have different kind of day and night, for they are exposed more to the light of the sun. In those points, they are not too much affected. The more they are close to this point, the more they have a longer day and longer sun. I mean longer night. So this is have nothing to do. The explanation of the Quran obviously is very stupid, very naive, and the one who came with this verse obviously is trying to explain to us his science fiction, saying that the reason you have a day succeeding the night and the night succeeding the day, because the sun and the moon, as you see here, they are doing a service, and each one of them, look with me in here, the word each. You see, when I say each, it means both. Each go to this one here, to the sun, and each go to the moon. It's not only for certain one. So each one of them are running. You see in the video, he tried to play with the word swim, and he said swim, when it's come to the moon or the sun, it's mean rotate. This is false. What rotate? Around itself. Swim, he himself, he said the swim, it's moving. A body is moving. So when you swim, you are moving, and usually you use it when you are swimming in the water. Now later we can explain why Quran, where he is getting these legends about the sun and the moon, they are swimming. All right. If you saw in the old legends, the Greek legends, you will see the moon is in a boat and the sun is in a boat and Mercury in a boat, etc. But we will not go there right now. So each running in appointed term. What is the appointed term he's talking about? That is the day and the night. So what is causing the day and the night? The running of two objects, which is the moon and the sun. And this is showing us the stupidity of the Quran author, because the moon have nothing to do with the day and the night. What the moon have to do with the night? I mean, seriously, I change any Muslim. What the moon have to do with the night? The moon is there. In daytime it is there, and nighttime it's there. The only difference is we don't see it because it is dark. As simple as that. Now for sure, when the earth is rotating around itself, we might not see the moon if we are on the other side. However, still we can be facing the moon when it's daytime, but still we cannot see him. We cannot see the moon, because simply it's the daytime. The sun is so strong and we cannot see anything except the blue sky. The atmosphere turned to blue. This is why we cannot even see the stars. Like, is the star disappearing in daytime? No, they are there. But the light is so strong in the daytime to the point we cannot see the stars. But the stars are not moving. They are there. If it's day or night, the stars are there. So here the Quran failed to explain in a very stupid way how the sun and the moon, they affect our day and night cycle. This is a clear proof that the Quran is a stupid book. Now this is not enough. Let us continue. We have more. You see, I'm trying to strip the Muslims from all their false excuses, because I know them. They will come to you and they will say to you, oh, he's wrong. All right. There is many verses. This is chapter 31, verse number 29. It says the same. Chapter 35, 13. Chapter 39, number 5. All of them, it says that the sun and the moon, they run, and this is how the day and the night happen. And by the way, here when you see the same verse exactly repeated in 3 locations or 4 locations, this is telling you that the one who is making the Quran is an empty, have nothing to say. Because why you are repeating the same thing? It's the same thing. What the difference between this verse and this verse and this verse and this verse? Nothing. It's the same. If God is God, he does not need to repeat the same story. It's just, once, it's enough. You said it. So all those confirm that day and night they move and they are object. And actually, if you read, there is a verse speak about the shade. In chapter 25, verse number 45, it says, didn't you see how Allah he extend the shade? If he went or he will, he can make it fixed. What? And he will make the sun fixed with it. So according to the science of the Quran, let's read the Muslim translation. Hast thou not seen how the Lord has spread the shade? If he willed, he could have made it still. Then we have made the sun as a pilot. So what the Quran is saying, I don't agree with translation, but we will go with it, no problem. Allah spread the shade. And the reason for the shade to spread is the sun is moving. It's obvious. If Allah wanted, he can make the shade stay by stopping the sun from moving. You see, why Allah is connecting the shade to the sun? I understand that the shade happening because of the light of the sun. We know that. But extending the shade and the shade length have nothing to do with the sun. It has to do with the rotation of the earth. It is not the sun going and changing the shade. But what you see here in this verse, the one is causing the shade to extend, it is the sun. So if Allah he want, he can make the sun fixed in a fixed location, and the shade will stay fixed. So the God of the Quran, he consider the reason for the shade to get bigger or smaller, it is because of the sun. The sun movement. Now, to make this is more clear, who can understand the Quran better than Muhammad? Zakir Naik, he understand the Quran better. Zakir Naik, his Arabic is better than Muhammad. I think all the Muslims agree with me. This is garbage. There's no way, right? Muhammad, he know Arabic better than Zakir Naik, at least a little bit. Okay, a little bit. If we ask the Prophet Muhammad, and what do you think about this? About the sun is running from point A to point B. What the Prophet will say? We go to the hadith. This is the hadith, and by the way, this is sahih. For some reason I cannot. Let us see if I can make it. Let me shrink the page. Maybe that will make it appear. Because Muslims, by the way, those sahih and weak, this is fake. Those books, all of it is sahih. But just to show you, here we go. You see, it says sahih. So the Muslim cannot say, this is not sahih. This is weak, brother. Okay, we know the game, right? However, even if you see this word, sahih or not, this is false fiction, is not even in the book. Those books, Jami' al-Tirmidhi is one of the sahih book. The sahih are 6 for the Sunni. 6 written by 6 scholars. One of them is at-Tirmidhi. So whatever inside the book is sahih. Even if the Muslim they wrote here da'if or sahih, this is false fiction, does not exist in the book. It's false. Just take a note. And even, by the way, the one is da'if is approved. You can go and watch a video by Sheikh Hamza. He explained what da'if mean. He said to you, and I'm quoting his words, da'if does not mean we throw it out. It pass. It pass. We can throw it out. It pass. It means it's okay. It's fine. So now let us read this hadith. Let us see who knows Islam better, Muhammad or Zakir Naik. Who can explain the Quran for us better? Because this hadith, by the way, explaining the Quran. And I will show you this hadith reported many times, not only in one place. I entered the masjid when the sun set, and the Prophet was sitting and said, Abu Dhar, this is the name of the guy, do you know where the sun, where this goes? He's talking about what? About the sun. I said, Allah and his messengers, no messenger, no better. He said, indeed it goes to seek permission to prostrate. So if it is permitted, as has been said, rise from its sitting place. Do you see it? So if the Muslim they want to say to you the verse about chapter 18 verse number 90, you remember we spoke about Alexander the Great sitting place and rising place of the sun? If they say this is a metaphorical, here we go. Muhammad is explaining what the sitting place mean. Rise from its sitting place. Then he recited that it is fixed course. So this is the fixed course they are talking about. The Quran, when he speak about that the sun and the moon, etc., they run in a fixed course, that it is going from point A to point B, and then this is and raise from its sitting place. Then he recited that it is fixed course. Who is saying that? Muhammad. So can a Muslim say this is Muhammad is an idiot? Can the Muslim say Muhammad is an idiot, he do not know what he's talking about? The same thing we can find in many hadith, not only in this one. There is tons of them. Sahih al-Bukhari, the same story. I entered the mosque while the Prophet, etc., etc. He said, do you know where the sun goes? I said, Allah and his apostle know better. He said, the sun goes and asks for permission to prostrate, and it is allowed. Alright? And here explained that this is coming from what? From chapter 36, verse number 38. So the sun goes. Who is going? It is the sun. We continue. The same story. This is, when you see the same story reported many times, it means this story obviously not only approved, it's over approved. For it's reported by many scholars, This is Sahih Muslim. The Prophet said, do you know where the sun goes? They replied, his apostle know best. And the Prophet observed, and he said, the sun glides, etc., etc., reached the sitting place under the throne. So where is the resting place of the sun? The sun, remember guys, Muhammad is speaking about the sun where it goes in the sunset. In the sunset time. It is not like in different time. Alright? So you can read this. We showed you the story in many places. So when it was the sunset timing, he said, do you know where the sun goes? It goes and set under the throne of Allah. And where the throne of Allah is above the water. Which is water? What water is that? Is the hot water. If you remember, the Muhammad, he stated clearly that when Allah, he created everything, the first thing he created was the pen, and his throne was above the water. So he is above the water. This is not a metaphorical, this is real. And this is where the sun go prostrate under the throne of Allah and sleep in the murky or the hot water. Then you will see here and it goes back and continues emerging out from its rising place. So Muhammad now explaining how the sun move. Now, do Muhammad know, and I mean, do Zakir Naik know more than Muhammad? Muhammad himself saying the sun goes from point A to point B. There's a rising place, there is a sitting place, as you see in the front of your eyes. So obviously, when Zakir Naik he come with his lies, he cannot back up his lies except that he speak to Indian people who do not speak Arabic. And those naive ones, they are just sitting in front of him, they have no idea what this guy is talking about, and whatever he say, okay, you know what, he know better, because we do not know, you know. Now in this video you will see the true opinion of Muslims, those who they are the scholars in Saudi Arabia, not a shish kebab potato he's trying to make a business in Bangladesh. Those are the ones who, if they say one word it's against Islam, they live in the Islamic land, they will chop their head in a second. You see, they are teaching in TV. So let us listen to how Islam really view of the rotation of the sun. Is it the earth is fixed and the sun is moving, or it is the earth is rotating? Let us hear the scholars and they will expose the true opinion of Islam regarding this issue. Watch with me this video, and thank you very much. Share the video, and God bless.
هذا يقول هل الأرض ثابتة أم تتحرك؟ ها ثابتة ولا تتحرك؟ بالحقيقة الذي عليه علماؤنا كالشيخ الإمام عبد العزيز بن باز، الشيخ صالح الفوزان حفظه الله تعالى، أن الأرض ثابتة لا تتحرك، وهذا هو مقتضى النصوص ومقتضى العقل أصلا. والأدلة أيضا كثيرة عن الشمس التي تدور. الأدلة العقلية بارك الله فيكم، أنكم تقولون أنهم يعني نظريات وما أدري كيف، حتى نحن عندنا نظريات وعندنا عقول كمسلمين. أولا نحن الآن في أين؟ نذهب إلى مطار الشارقة، نريد أن نذهب إلى الصين بالطيارة، واضح؟ ركزوا معي. هذه الأرض إذا قلتم أنها تدور، إذا خرجنا من مطار الشارقة برحلة دولية إلى الصين، الأرض تدور صح؟ طيب لو وقفت الطائرة في السماء أليست الصين تأتي؟ صح ولا لا؟ تدور تأتي الصين ولا ما تأتي؟ طيب لو كانت الشمس الأرض تدور هكذا، لو تمشي الطيارة ما أدري كم تمشي لن تستطيع أن تلحق الصين، لأن الصين تدور وأنت تدور، ولن تستطيع أن تصل إلى الصين لأنك تدور وهي تدور، فكيف تصل إلى الصين؟ ثانيا من الأدلة أيضا قوله صلى الله عليه وسلم من البيت المعمور. أين البيت المعمور؟ في السماء السابعة. محاذاة إيش؟ قال عليه الصلاة والسلام لو سقط على إيش؟ على الكعبة. أنتم تقولون الأرض تدور، طيب لو سقط هذا والأرض تدور ما يسقط على الكعبة، يسقط في البحر أو يسقط في المحيط أو يسقط في البر، هكذا. هذا يدل على أن الأرض ثابتة. قالوا صعدنا إلى القمر وما صعدوا إلى القمر ولا شافوا قمر، وكله صنعوه في هوليود مدري فين، وقالوا خرجوا إلى القمر ولا شيء، ونحن صدقناهم وجرينا خلفهم.